pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Today is Monday, August the 6th, 2018. Time is 5:02. And the meeting of the Greensburg Board of Works is called to order. At this time, please silence electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. Right back, Chief Bridges is watching the box tonight, so right over there. Okay. Roll call, please.
Cheryl Perkins. Here. Rick Ensler.
Here.
Lynn Teddy.
Here.
And Harold Hoy.
Here.
Okay, all of you should have been passed out for July 2nd, 2018 minutes. Was there any corrections to the Board of Works minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, any other questions? I guess not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I opposed? Okay. Old business, I have none down. A new business, I have, well, it's kind of old business, Jeff's payout every month. So, you got Jeff Smith payout, number 16.
Good evening. I actually have 3 items to bring before you tonight. The first item is the payout number 16. About 2 or 3 more of these, maybe I won't read any more. It's for $396,797.67. Everything is pretty well, is substantially complete now. Now we're just doing all the little odds and ends things. Yard work, sidewalks, that type of thing, punch list items.
It's odds and ends, but it's a couple $100,000.
Oh, this one here would have been for, like last month, 2 months ago, almost. It's about 60 days old, because it's time we
Okay,
get
that's
from
fine.
contractors.
And I was just being funny, because I know it takes time to do all the major part of the work is done in
Yes.
terms of the, right.
And I think most of this is probably from Congress, or something in Greensburg.
If you're satisfied, I would move approval of the payment number 16, $396,797.67.
Second?
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So passes.
Okay, next one is, I've got two here. One's a engineering proposal from Strand on the sewer line replacement. We're gonna try to line over off of Lincoln Street, clamp down Lincoln. Within Lincoln Street, we can line it. We've got that video and it's fine. We went from, basically from Lincoln Street, to be going south of the railroad bridge to that property. That will not be able to be lined. It needs to be replaced. It's had some, it's been in there for 65 years, 70, since Scottsville had changed.
What size creek down
It's on the west side. Yes. And this will be the engineering proposal to do the engineering, get the permits, because that's also in the floodplain. So whenever you look at the floodplain, you gotta get DNR permits and some other things, but that does need to be replaced. Put that down for you, right? It looks like it cost around $49,200. It's task order number 18-3. Sandcreek sanitary sewer replacement.
Well,
Before I can actually go ahead with the rest of the lining project, I need to fix that first. That's an emotional
yeah, no,
That's the question.
Well, we'll be all better off in the long run with this.
Yeah, when it's done, that's especially that portion where it's not the tiles broke down, it's starting to break down pretty bad.
So you need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a motion.
I would approve, motion to approve task order number 18-3 for Gas Creek sanitary sewer replacement design and engineering for permit phase.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay. Any other questions? Or? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I have one more item I need to bring before you. Sandcreek sanitary sewer force main replacement. Last couple of big rains, Sandcreek's decided to move. It's shifted its path. Well, when it shifted its path, it exposed my force main. In other words, one time, yes, it was under the creek. Well, since the creek moved over, now it's not. It's behind the creek. So I need that. We've taken it, we put reinforcement around it so it can't move right now or anything. But it does need to be dug out and reburied concrete underneath the creek. You don't really want an exposed force main.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mother Nature, huh?
Yeah, she's gonna cost about, well, for engineering, $50,200. Because that also is in floodplain anyway, I will have to rework the Sandcreek around there. And hopefully I won't shift again for another 30 or 40 years.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah. It seemed like when it did, it had been real dry, and then we got one of these real big heavy rains, and that decided, I guess, take a different path.
So we're pretty assured that if it does decide to switch, we're gonna be okay?
Yes, we're gonna take it back further above direction and bury it in concrete. But at least it's gonna be exposed. And I'm not too sure when that force main was put in early 70s, late 60s, if it was actually buried in concrete. It just may have been laid in limestone. It's right on the cover, a couple inches of gravel. Call it good. So I would like to have your approval for task order 18-04 for Sandcreek sanitary sewer force main replacement. Engineering services.
So another thing we gotta do. So I'll make a motion that we approve task order number 1804.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay. Chief Bridges.
Good evening. Wanted to start off tonight, for anybody that does not know, George Morgan, who was a Greensburg police officer for 22 and a half years and also worked at the Decatur County Jail for 10 years, passed away last night. So he had just recently moved to the Indianapolis area. The funeral services will be Friday, the 10th at 1 o'clock p.m. They will be at the South Park Cemetery with a full military service that will take place. He was also in the Marine Corps for a year and had switched to the Army Reserve. So our thoughts and condolences goes out to George Morgan's family and that. So I just wanted to keep everybody updated on that. First thing I have on the agenda tonight is the purchase of a new vehicle. A couple months ago, we were unfortunately involved in an accident where one of our vehicles was totaled out. In doing so, we thought we would have one spare car, but unfortunately we're having some mechanical issues with that vehicle that's going to take some time to possibly repair if we're going to be able to get them repaired. So I'm coming in front of the Board of Works tonight. I enclosed in a packet 2 quotes. One was through John Jones in Salem, Indiana for a 2018 Dodge Durango, and the other was for a 2018 Police Interceptor SUV from Bloomington, Indiana. The reason we went with these 2 is or these actually have vehicles in stock, and if we would have to wait and order, we're looking at maybe a 4 to 6 month turnaround, plus getting them installed in that. One thing I did forget to include on the quote was we did receive 2 checks from the insurance company that totals $14,591.66. This will be to replace the vehicle cost and also to help with the install of the new vehicle if approved. I'm asking for the board's approval tonight. I will not be asking for any additional appropriation. I do have money currently in the line item for a purchase of a new vehicle and equipment. So again, I'm just asking tonight for the board's recommendation on one, purchasing, and two, where to purchase the vehicle from.
Both places still have new stock.
Yes.
So we have about, what, a $6,000
Yes.
difference. So is there a recommendation that you would want to make to the board?
The Ford Police Interceptor SUV, we have got currently several on the road right now. We have not had any issues. Any issues that we have had has just been warranty work. We've had it in and out probably within a day. So again, we're still having really good luck with the Ford SUVs. I will let the board know, I've advised the mayor that after 2018, there's only going to be one police actual sedan that's going to be being made, and that's the Dodge Charger. Everything else is now going truck and SUV. So, of course, that's going to, with gas mileage and stuff like that, but just to let you know that next year there's only going to be one car made available to law enforcement agencies, so it's actually pursuit rated. So.
What's the difference in price? I don't, that's what you're recommending,
Your gas mileage.
It's not gonna be
It's
low.
not. No, it's not. Not for in-town driving. It's not.
Well, circumstances again kind of pushes, so, but what else we gotta do?
We're looking at $17,233.
58 cents. And then just for references, the 2018 Dodge would have came in with a trade at $22,466.34.
$5,000 and $5,000. Go, Joe.
I make a motion that we grant the chief the 2018 police interceptor retail vehicle.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passed.
Okay, the second item on the agenda, I know each Board of Works member has spoken with Assistant Chief Mike McNeely, and I have spoken to the mayor on a possible vehicle that would be, now I will say, the due date was August the 1st to sign that we would possibly be interested, and we did sign that, but if we do not agree to do it, then we can easily pull our name out of the process. This vehicle, of course, is from Shelbyville PD. It is, make sure I say this right, so I don't want to, it's a armored, it's an APC. Mike, I don't know if you want to.
Armored peacekeeper.
Okay, this is Peacekeeper, yes. This is not this is not the large vehicle that you see like in Bloomington and this and that. This would be very ideal for our department in my opinion. The biggest thing on this, not only officer safety, but the one that I didn't think of that officers came to me on was, and we've had the situations here before, that if we have a standoff or a possible volatile situation, this will allow us to possibly get people out of neighborhoods. If we unfortunately have an active shooter somewhere, out of a factory, schools, anything, we can load people up in this vehicle and we can get them out there safely, which we cannot do right now. And again, this vehicle would also be, if we needed to help respond to anything out in the county, for if deputies are in a situation where they have to get out of a hot zone safely and securely. Again, this vehicle will be available to them, Westport, New Point, any of the surrounding. Like I said, this will be a countywide, but it will be housed, and of course it will be our property in that. But again, this will be available if anybody needs it in that. Like I said, there is no cost for this vehicle. Shelbyville has put in, I believe, $8,000 to $10,000 of their own money and outfitting, and we actually sent a patrol captain over to look at it, and they advised him that they would keep all the equipment in the vehicle, so they're not planning on taking anything out. The only thing we have to put in it is an 800 radio, which we can do. The one question I believe that was talked about was overheating issues, and I believe that was addressed, that we can definitely take care of that. But again, this is a vehicle that our city mechanic can easily work on. I feel very confident he can. Sometimes when you get into these larger, heavy pieces of equipment, you're looking at having to take it somewhere else to get it worked on. But again, this is just a smaller vehicle that would be, my personal opinion, ideal for our department in certain situations. Again, I hope we never have to use this thing, but unfortunately with what we're seeing right now, there's always that possibility. And I would rather be prepared and that than not be prepared. And again, there's a good chance we may not get this, and that I'm just asking for the board's approval to, if we do get accepted, to accept the vehicle.
With the money that Shelbyville PD has put into this, they can still pass that on at
Yep.
no cost
Correct.
to us?
Yep, if they wanted to take all the piece of equipment off they put into it, they could, but they're saying nope, they're going for a bigger piece of equipment, and so that's why they're getting rid of this, from my understandings.
Chief,
Yes.
just a slight correction. They
Okay.
did fix the overheating issue. They put in some pre-coolers onto the radiator that eliminated that issue.
Okay.
So the cost to the city basically would be insurance.
Insurance and driving it 20 miles over here.
It
Seems
sounds
like a no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of, I hope, like you, we never have to use it.
Right.
It's awful that we have to think about that
Mhm.
sort of thing. But if it's, other than the cost of insurance and storing it, and I guess training on it, whatever costs are involved with that. But since we have a unit that is prepared to do this kind of work, should it be needed, makes sense, I guess, we have the additional equipment.
Well, what I like too is saying how, of course, we have the picture here, that they can load people in.
Yeah.
Also, you could put your officers in that.
And I can easily say that this incident happened about a year and a half ago, over on the west side of town, to where we had a dead-end street. We had a male with that was armed inside, and we were trying to get the residents out, and unfortunately, we had to use ourselves as shields, getting them out, and this, like I said, would just be a better tool to get them out of there in the situation. So like I said, unfortunately, we've had these situations before.
Makes sense. I just hope we
Who will
can.
decide who gets it?
Federal government.
So you put the application?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
I didn't know what level, where it was.
And I know right now we're competing about, from last I heard, six, seven
Sure.
agencies. So
They have any criteria, how they pick, or,
we just submit a letter. I would hope that with us being a smaller agency and not having the funding, because I know a couple of the agencies are looking into it, have 800 some thousand population, and another one has over 100,000, and I'm sure they already have vehicles. They're just wanting to add their fleet, so I'm hoping that they look at the small guys too, but we'll see.
Do you have any idea how soon that they?
No.
You don't have any date?
I do not.
like, it's something you don't want, but you
Right,
need.
exactly. It's like having to go in and teach active shooter in a school.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to do it,
Things,
but
unfortunately, that's what we're coming to. You know,
Right.
if we do get it, the only thing, up your maintenance budget a little bit,
Right.
because it's maybe more.
Mhm.
That's only drawback.
Right.
Well, hopefully we'll have to use it all the time.
Right.
Exactly.
Needed is it.
Be ready when it's needed.
So do I have a motion for us to move forward with this project? Hopefully we'll get it. We'll go from there.
I will make a motion that we, let the police department proceed with this process, and if they get approved, we will accept it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, last thing that I have on the agenda, again, I'm not asking for any monies, I'm just asking for, I guess, permission to go ahead and proceed with this. As you know, in January, we started a canine program for the Greensburg Police Department. I think in 7 months, we've easily been able to show the importance of the canine program. I am asking permission to seek the start of a second canine on the department. This canine will go to the opposite shift. Currently, B shift has the canine, and A shift would receive the new canine. The canine would go to the hours of where we're seeing the most traffic and crime that we're seeing. So there's definitely a place for it. We used to be able to rely on the county, and unfortunately, due to an injury, I believe they had to retire their canine just recently. So I don't know if they're looking at timeline of replacing. So again, I think just from what we're seeing and all that, I think it's definitely a need that we can definitely utilize. Again, this will be paid for by grants and donations. The officer that has been chosen to be the second or the handler, he has already came up with ideas on fundraising, and I don't see a problem getting those funds. So.
How much do you expect to have to raise?
Roughly $13,000. That's going to be, we're using the exact same facility where we got our first canine because we've had such good luck with it. And they offer the free training up to a year if we need to go back, plus the replacement if something goes wrong with the canine. So that's what we would have. We do have a spare canine kennel currently in our department that can go inside this officer's vehicle, so we would not have to purchase a kennel, which would usually run us around $3,000 in that, so that would be savings on that. This officer already has an outdoor storage at his home for K9, all the facilities and everything, so it's set if we do.
How much does it cost to maintain the canine in terms of additional? I know that there's value there. I'm not suggesting that.
Yeah,
I'm just
K9,
curious.
yeah, we sit there and say that the K9 will be free, but we all know it's not free. You still have your, by federal law, you have to do your mandated half an hour a day. But the way we worked it out, since we're working 10-hour shifts, the K9 actually only works 9 hours instead of 10. That way it eliminates that back log of hours, because I know at one time we were running 400 hours of comp with K9, and we know we can't be proactive and productive by doing that, so we've solved that problem. So overtime's staying down. We do get a good donation from Rural King, who provides food, a free bag for each week, and then your other costs you're looking at is vet bills. The first initial one is free at cost from a local animal shelter, or hospital. And then anything after that, you're usually looking around $60 a year for anything medical. So right now, like I said, we still have a surplus in our K9 fund because we did receive a $4,000 grant from CAC last year that has helped out. So we do still have a surplus going.
I'm sorry, are there other grants that you're gonna be getting
Yes.
besides this 400 or 40,000, 4,000?
Well, that was done from last year's.
Yes.
I will be applying for it again this year.
More grants.
There is a couple other that I'm looking at, but I can say the biggest thing is going to be donations again. And the officers know that if they want this, that they're going to have to work hard for it on their own time, not on duty, and to raise money.
Well, the city absolutely went for it. I felt, I know you
Correct.
had several things that I attended, and it seemed like the city was for it, and they,
Well, and we're getting numerous. I'm getting a lot of people asking for the K9 to come and do presentations. So again, it's great for the kids. We went into the elementary already. We went out with the Special Olympics at their summer camp, did a presentation. So again, it's a great thing for a community policing tool also. So yeah, it's definitely valuable, and I do think that there is a need. So, Torsenka.
And I think one of the things that helped me was we'll have one on each shift. So they're not gonna be working at the same time, but at least there'll be a dog